Over the years in Wizard101, many metas have come and gone. With them come many stat expectations that all the players in the game thrive to meet. In modern day Wizard101, there is a standard for the best gear. But what happened to all the old standards? My name is Taylor, and today we are talking about the history of all the dead stats in Wizard101. If you look at your stat sheet, you will immediately begin to see evidence of a changing direction in the game. Old school players will see lots of things they recognize and things they don't. Damage, resistance, and accuracy you'll understand, but you may notice a second row on your damage or resistance. These are called flat damage and flat resistance respectively. Flat stats were a solution to giving players additional stat increases in smaller quantities. Flat damage failed to ever really take off. Flat damage is basically just a permanent enchant. In theory, this is really useful. However, because the only source of flat damage was also the same source of pierce and critical and other useful stats, this particular jewel never really took off in the meta. However, the counterpart, flat resistance, was incredibly powerful, and its competition was not nearly as strong. Seeing as it decreased the final damage number taken, this made it insanely good at stopping damage over time spells. However, with the banning of these from advanced content, PvP, and the addition of health jewels, flat resist only really sees success in Decathlon now. Further in your stat book, you'll also see stun resist. Stun resist is a true relic of the past. There were never really many viable ways to get this. One of them was through the stun resist jewels, where you could get a relatively low amount of stun resist, or through gear from the old PvP system. This gear is disabled now, but even if it wasn't, the current standards of stat would just outpace the benefit of resisting a stun. Stun resist has slowly faded away overall, and developers have toyed with the idea of removing stun altogether, although no promises. While many old players may be akin to the old incoming-outgoing system, the incoming side of the stat is all but dead. With the removal of incoming on pretty much all the new gear, and the outright banning inside PvP and other advanced content, incoming is just not that useful. Now, the last fallen stat you may not expect, and that's critical. When I started playing the game, critical was the stat to chase. Damage was wanted, but if you could critical every single time, you were the strongest wizard. As years have moved forward, critical was changed multiple times. At one point, the chase for 100% critical became so bad that every update people were desperately trying to hit new goalposts, whether by pack or pet talent, and you had to hit this exact number, or if you were just barely off, your chance would be significantly lower. Around the Caramel update, critical was changed once again and capped out at its chance at 95%, and the fundamental interaction change was that critical didn't simply do double damage. It varied depending on the opponent's block and your critical in comparison. It made criticals much easier to hit at all level ranges, but the criticals themselves were much less rewarding. Personally, I think this change was for the better, but after this update, while critical was still good, it's never been chased again. At the end of the day, most of these stats ended up changing for the better, and I'm really curious to see if any of the ones that are completely dead will return in the future. For now, that's all. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.